So you just grab the mail and there it is, the letter from the local hearing aid office, and they have the newest and greatest hearing aid that has ever been developed. Oh, and no one else has this technology. But before you spend thousands of dollars on new hearing aids, I want you to pause for a moment. Because in my audiology practice, most people who told me they needed new hearing aids actually didn't. What they needed was something very different. Hi, I'm Matt Murphy, a retired audiologist with 20 years as a private practice owner and founder of earHero, the world's first micro speaker earpiece used by law enforcement. This channel is called Sound Solutions, and whether you're exploring your first hearing aid or have been wearing hearing aids for years, I hope to help you understand what's actually happening and what you can do about it. Let me be clear. I'm not saying that you may not need new hearing aids or that technology has not changed since you got your last hearing aids. I'm just saying that sometimes the right adjustment could be the answer. So why do people think they need new hearing aids? Well, marketing is exciting and they use buzzwords. They know that people usually come to this conclusion for one of maybe three reasons. First, their speech still isn't clear. Second, background noise feels overwhelming. And third, listening feels harder than it should. So the assumption becomes these hearing aids may not be good enough. But here's what I saw again and again in my practice. Many times the devices weren't the problem. The first step before you do anything else is to get an updated hearing test. If you have a copy of your old test, take it with you and have the audiologist compare the two tests. If you don't have a copy, your provider should have one to be able to show you the difference between the two tests. If your hearing hasn't changed much, new hardware alone won't solve clarity problems. If your hearing has changed, you need to have those hearing aids readjusted and fit to your new prescription. Many providers use a function in the software called First Fit. It takes a look at the audiogram and does a quick adjustment to the prescription based on the manufacturer's recommendation. If your hearing aids were never fine-tuned beyond the first fitting, you're not hearing what they're capable of. Ask your provider if they used real ear measurements to fit the hearing aids. This is a process that uses microphones inside the ear canal to actually see how the programming is adjusted to the hearing loss. This has become the standard verification tool in the industry. If your provider does not have the equipment to do real ear verification, I would suggest finding another provider who does. My mentor used to say, there's an art and a science to hearing aids. New hearing aids programmed the same way will create the same frustration. And realistic expectations are critical, and if expectations were never explained clearly, disappointment is almost guaranteed. I remember seeing a patient who was ready to replace their hearing aids that were only 3 years old. His hearing had not changed, so we confirmed with Real Ear that the hearing aids were meeting his targets and focused on what his frustrations were. We made some adjustments to his hearing aids and set an appointment for him to come back in a week. I'd asked him to make a list of all the situations that were difficult over that week. Once he came back, he showed me the list, and he had around 10 items that we realized all those 10 items were very similar, and it really only took a couple adjustments. And after 2 visits, we focused on clarity, noise control, and realistic listening strategies. Those same devices suddenly worked far better. He looked at me and he said, I thought I needed new hearing aids and you just saved me thousands of dollars. There are times when replacement is the right move. And if your hearing has changed significantly, and in my practice, we would typically test patients' hearing annually, and we made adjustments as needed. If your technology is 8 to 10 years old, technology is moving faster and faster, but hearing aids that are 8 to 10 years old can typically not process the sound like the new units. And if your lifestyle has changed dramatically, maybe you've joined a social group or have a club or family that like to go out, if you find yourself in more dynamic situations, new technology may be the answer. If physical comfort has become an issue, your hearing aids should not be uncomfortable. And if they are, you need to talk to your provider. Before replacing anything, ask yourself this. Have my hearing aids been cleaned recently? Have my hearing aids been adjusted recently? Did my provider fit my hearing aids using real ear verification? Are they programmed for my real environments and not just for quiet rooms? Do I truly understand what they can and cannot do? If the answer to any of these questions is no, replacement may be premature. Optimize first, replace second. This mindset saves money, frustration, and disappointment. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. It really helps so others can get this information. And if you'd like me to discuss a specific topic, leave a comment below.